Today, we're diving into one of the most incredible, world-changing technologies out there: brain-computer interfaces. You know, this stuff used to be pure science fiction, but it's quickly becoming a reality that could completely redefine what it means to be human. Let's get into it.
I want you to just imagine this for a second. Your mind is sharp, you're totally aware, your thoughts are racing, but you're trapped. You can't move, you can't speak, you can't connect with anyone. It's a condition known as a locked-in state, and it's like being a prisoner in your own body.
But what if there was a key? What if you could find a way to bypass all the broken connections and plug your brain directly into the world? What if you could type an email, move a robotic arm, or even speak again, just by thinking about it?
Well, that's not a what if anymore. It is happening right now. The very first person to get a Neuralink implant, a man named Nolan Arbog, who is paralyzed, is already using it to play online chess with his thoughts alone. That right there, that's the power of a BCI.
So how on earth is that even possible? I mean, how do you listen to a thought? Well, it all boils down to the incredible science behind these brain-computer interfaces.
At its core, a BCI is really just a translator. It creates this direct bridge between the electrical chatter happening inside your brain and an external machine, like a computer. And the key part here is that it completely bypasses the body's normal wiring, the nerves and muscles that might be damaged.
And the way it works is by tapping into a very specific part of the brain, the motor cortex. Think of this as the brain's command center for movement. Now, even if someone has a spinal cord injury, that command center is often still working perfectly fine, still firing off the intention to move. The BCI is just there to pick up that signal and turn it into action.
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting, because every BCI design comes down to one huge trade-off. You can go non-invasive, placing sensors on the scalp. It's much safer, but the signal you get is pretty noisy and slow. Or you can go invasive and put an implant right into the brain. That's obviously a much bigger deal surgically, but the signal is crystal clear, which means faster, much more precise control.
And you know, a technology this revolutionary didn't just appear overnight. It's actually been a century in the making, and the pace of progress right now is just absolutely exploding.
Just look at this timeline. It all started way back in 1924 with the EEG, which gave us our first kind of blurry window into the brain. Fast forward 80 years to 2004, and we have the first paralyzed person controlling a computer with an implant. Then, just last year, BCIs decoding thought into text at nearly conversational speed. And the projection? By 2026, we could be entering the commercial era. The acceleration is just incredible.
To really appreciate what a massive challenge this is, think about this number. The human brain has roughly 86 billion neurons. That is a staggering number. It's like a giant, bustling city of signals, and a BCI has to try and make sense of all that chaos.
So how do you even start to listen in on a city that vast? Well, this number gives you an idea of our progress. An implant like Neuralink's uses 1,024 tiny little electrode channels. Now, that's just a tiny fraction of the whole brain, of course, but it's like placing over 1,000 super sensitive microphones in key neighborhoods of that city, letting us listen in with unbelievable clarity. And right now, there's this amazing race to innovate happening, with different companies taking completely different approaches. You've got Neuralink going all in with their super high-density threads implanted by a robot. Then there's Synchron with this wild idea of inserting their device through a vein, no open brain surgery required. Precision Neuroscience is using a thin film that just kind of slips onto the surface of the brain. And you can't forget BlackRock. They're the veterans whose technology really paved the way for a lot of this research.
But here's the thing. The potential here goes so far beyond just helping people with paralysis. We are on the verge of using this tech to help with a whole universe of other conditions.
So we're already talking about restoring speech. The next giant leap is sensation. Imagine making a prosthetic hand actually feel again by sending signals back to the brain. Researchers are also using implants to create a kind of rudimentary vision for the blind. And maybe most mind-blowing of all, they're starting to target the brain's memory center to help fight diseases like Alzheimer's.
It's not just about sending signals out either. BCIs are being developed to create what's called a closed-loop system. Think of it like a smart thermostat for the brain. The BCI can detect when a seizure or a depressive episode is about to start, and then deliver a tiny, targeted electrical pulse to restore normal brain activity. This could be a game changer for conditions like epilepsy, OCD, and severe depression.
But as we get better and better at unlocking the secrets of the brain, we also unlock some huge, profound ethical questions that we absolutely have to face. This is really the battle for your brain.
So let's just start with the biggest question of all. If a device can read your brain signals, who owns that data? Who owns your thoughts? And what could happen with that information? Could a company with a BCI in your head sell your neural data to advertisers, to insurance companies? I mean, we're talking about the most private, most personal data that could possibly exist. And then we get to the really thorny stuff. What happens when this technology goes beyond just fixing medical problems and moves into enhancement? Should healthy people be allowed to upgrade their brains? That opens up a huge can of worms about fairness and what it even means to be human.
Because of all these massive questions, a new conversation is starting around this idea of neurorights. The argument is that our current laws on privacy just weren't built for a world where our minds can be read. So people are proposing a whole new category of human rights, things like the right to mental privacy, the right to your own identity, and even the right to free will.
So at the end of the day, we're left with this enormous question. We know for sure that brain-computer interfaces have this almost miraculous power to fix what's broken, to give people back their movement, their voice, their senses. But the ultimate debate that we as a society have to have is this:
Should we ever use them to improve what isn't broken? The answer to that is going to define our future.